Professor Dr. George Seifert, Dr. George Luis Berra, Professor Sanjay Kindra, Dr. Damika, Dr. Mark Rosenberg, Dr. Natalia Aldana. And two of the speakers, Professor Sanjay Kindra and Mark Rosenberg, will be joining online. Requesting our guest speakers to take the dais. Once again, good morning to all. We'll be starting the plenary session 1. Global Ayurveda Scope and Challenges. So global advances in healthcare is not a homogenization, but rather to provide the opportunity for integration, convergence, and collaboration across cultures. By respecting and conserving the richness of diversity of each system of medicine, we embrace globalization. So globalization is, of course, not a new. It began in the 15th to 16th century. Since the beginning of the time, there have been interactions and exchanges among the different people and cultures. However, the current magnitude of globalization is unprecedented and yet still expanding rapidly. In line with approach towards the world is one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, emphasized by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, is applicable to different fields, including healthcare also. Yoga for all became accepted worldwide in the similar lines. In the similar lines, traditional system of medicine being given importance worldwide, and Global Center for Traditional Medicine established in Gujarat, India by WHO is a live example. EIIA is having 17 MOUs with the international partners for research activities and education and exchange of faculty, to explore the scope of globalization of Ayurveda in the field of education, research, clinical practice, regulatory affairs, etc., and to find the challenges to achieve the same will be emphasized in the plenary session by the experts from different parts of the globe, that is from Germany, Argentina, Colombia, Sri Lanka, etc., which have graced the occasion and thus share the stage today. I welcome all and invite to this one. And in this occasion, first of all, I would like to invite Professor Dr. George Seifert from Germany, who is a pediatric oncologist and a hematologist, Charité University, Germany. So I request Professor H.S. Acharya sir to welcome him with a green book. I request Dr. Rajgopala sir to welcome Dr. George Luis Berra from Argentina, who is the Director, Foundation of Ayurveda Prima, Argentina. We welcome you, sir. And I request Professor S.H. Acharya sir to welcome Dr. Dhammika from Sri Lanka, who is the Commissioner, Department of Ayurveda. Welcome you, sir. And I request Dr. Rajgopala sir to welcome Dr. Natalia Aldana from Colombia. Welcome you, madam. So with this brief introduction, I hand over to Professor S.H. Acharya sir to have initial remarks and to start with the sessions.
Good morning and a very warm welcome for all our delegates who have come from abroad and the eminent scholars from all through the nation. In the first plenary session that we are going to have, we have a very good presentation with a scenario depicting the condition of Ayurveda practice, that I will use the word practice, around the globe. So we are really eager to hear that. The point of on the table consideration here is we have been definitely, the government of India has been talking a lot about globalization of Ayurveda. Maybe I remember in the 1 or 2 decades. So maybe now we are very much interested to see where we stand in the global level. So the institute here has been interested to have the feedback and what is the status today. Maybe we will be in a position in the end to make some benchmarks so that few marking steps, what the next step probably we have to take. That is the anticipation. Because as we all know, the regulations, the government legalities is different in different countries. If we want to actually implement Ayurveda in different levels, stratas of the society, beginning with the professional levels or the technical therapist level or in the common man level, there are different stratas where we can implement, probably inject the theme of Ayurveda. We are still into that. We do not know. We already had some initial oral discussions at the tea table also regarding that. So we are very much eager to hear from our experts what is the position and what are the limitations, what are the positive outcomes of our efforts so far, your efforts so far in the countries that we would really like to hear from you. So I again welcome you all, and I request the organizer to start with the speakers, that we have got limited time, and the speakers will start with the delegation. So Dr. Hudar, I will invite to invite our first speaker. Thank you.
As Dr. Dhammika Abhay Gunawardene is going to attend another meeting, as we are slight change in the program schedule. Instead of the schedule, the first one we are taking. Dr. D. Abhay Gunawardene, he is the Commissioner General of Ayurveda in Sri Lanka and chairs several key organizations like the Ayurveda Medical Council. He holds BMS degree and MSc in Medical Administration and in Human Resource Management. Starting as a Provincial Ayurveda Commissioner in 2007, he became Commissioner General in 2021. With 27 years of experience, he has led efforts to improve traditional medicine in Sri Lanka and internationally. So I welcome Dhammika Abhay Gunawardene to deliver his speech. So I request the speakers, we have a time of 10 minutes each, so please stick on.
Namaste, Aibowan. Good morning, all of you. Chair, all the panelists, all the distinguished guests, invitees. And today, the morning, the AROHA 2024. Thank you for inviting me as an international speaker for this forum. My topic is the global scope of Ayurveda. When you come to this topic, you know what there are so many dimensions in this topic. But today going to open your eyes regarding these dimensions with you. One is always we are talking the integration with the Western healthcare. And you know that there are so many views how we going to integrate with the modern healthcare system. And argument also there. When you come to the global aspect, when you go to the country, there are so many variations, so many patterns we should have to think about and we should have to implement for better service given to our patients. Number two, the holistic wellness trends and diverse applications. You know that. Why we are going to talk with the diverse applications and holistic wellness trends. Number three, the preventive health. The preventive health, you know that when you go to the Alma-Ata in 1978, the WHO always introduced, they mentioned that if you're going to preventive health, you better more concern the traditional system of medicine in each country. But we again look back and we have to think again, now are we achieved that objectives, what they gave us to the country to country. And treatment of chronic conditions, now very badly affecting for our people in this world. The chronic condition, you know that when the antibiotic comes, now we can cure the more acute conditions, but the chronic conditions, the peoples are always suffering from that. And lifestyle and dietary practice. The modern world, we have to think again, lifestyles, how we change our lifestyle, how we change our dietary practice, and what we should have to do. And economic potentials. After that, I'm going to explain with you the next slide. And global market trends. This is the business. Now, the people think like that. Therefore, we have to think about the global market trends and opportunities for practitioner and the education. This is also same like that, education and practitioner. When you come to the holistic trends, you know, the growth of the wellness industry in the projected to reach 6 trillion by 2025. And there's a survey. It says that the mindfulness and alternative therapies have seen 20% of annual increase in the adoption rates, reflecting growth, recognition of their benefits. This data highlight an emerging paradigm where holistic wellness is not merely a trend but is the fundamental aspect of the modern health strategies. And you can see there's a small pictures is there. What is the global wellness economy? I am not going to detail with you. You know very well. Traditional medicine is the 519 billion. Okay, when you come to the economic potential and the global market trends, that is why I mentioned that this is a business. The economic potential, the Ayurveda has significant global presence with the product market in India worth 515.5 billion in 2021 and is projected to record in 19.8 growth from 2022 to 2027. This is the market share. The Indian market accounts 89% of the global market. Why you give the leadership for this system to the globe. The major market for the Ayurveda outside in India include Asia Pacific countries, USA, Nepal, UAE, the Netherlands, Italy, Russia, France, and many more. You give the leadership. You gave the leadership for the Ayush system to this world market. Anyhow, but there is a challenges. We have to think about the challenges. If there is a challenges, the solution also available. First, we go to the challenges, and you can see. Today, I am going to communicate with you. I understand these challenges with us. One is the standardization of regulation. Number two, lack of uniform practice. When you go to the modern medicine, there is a good procedure protocols, I think, but we should have to think about uniform of practice. And variability and certification and training. Scientific validation is a more important thing. This is the big challenge for us. Need for the research and clinical studies. We should have to do it. Addressing the disabled in the medical community. And cultural appropriation and the misinterpretations. This is a big challenge. Misinterpretations. Because we should have to read carefully, we should have to understand, and when we go to the interpretations, the cultural, we have to think and we should have to interpret it like that. And risk of commodifications and enhancing respect of the traditional practice. It's a more important challenge for us. We should have to think again and again. And if there is a challenges, we have solutions. Yes, we have solutions. And I can say like this, global Ayurveda faces several challenges that can hinder in the growth and acceptance. Why? We should have to face growth and acceptance. That is why global regulatory framework of herbal product and practice, the one solution for us. Ensuring the quality and safety and Ayurveda product. Scientific validation and promoting integrative research. Promoting evidence-based practice is a more important thing. This is a big solution for us, and we have to do research, more, we have to introduce more procedures, protocols for that. And sustainable cultivation and protection of biodiversity. Without protection of biodiversity, we can't survive with our system, because always we are using the biodiversity. Need collaborative framework that the foster research, standardization and regulation within the Ayurveda community. These are the solutions today I going to discuss with you. Finally, when I come to the concluding message of my today plenary session presentation, navigating these complexities while maintaining the integrity of the Ayurveda principles will be essential for sustainable global integration and acceptance. If we think like this, I think we can go. This is the better future for us, better future for Indian people, not only that, the better future for all the world people who are going to have a treatment or advisors from Ayush system. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me for this international session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Damika ji, for your lucid presentation on the challenges and opportunities of Ayurveda in the global scenario. As a precedence, we don't have question answer here. All the speakers are available 3 days with us, and you can interact with them freely during the free hours. I request our moderator, Professor Acharya sir, to hand over the memento to the speaker, Dr. Damik, please. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your presentation. The next presenter is Professor Dr. George Schiffers from Germany. He is from Charité Medical University, Germany. Professor George, of course, his introduction has already been given, and he is an oncologist and pediatric hematologist, and having extensive experience in traditional and complementary medicines. He also directs the Charité Competence Center for Traditional and Integrative Medicine in Berlin. And I invite Dr. George for his presentation. Sir, please.
So, namaste, good morning everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the invitation to the organizers and Professor Nesari. Before I start, I want to mention that before I left, I was talking to the Dean of the Charité, the university where I come from, and we were talking about this event, and he is highly interested in what's going on in India in the field of traditional medicine, and sent his warmest greetings to everybody and wish us a good event. So I arrived quite early this morning with a little bit of jet lag, and I hope you excuse that I look a little bit tired, but I'm completely awake after the spicy breakfast. I would like to give you some thoughts about the European perspective on traditional Indian medicine, since I'm not the one of the most experts in Europe. I'm traveling with a colleague, Professor Kessler, also from our university, is more experienced. I'm giving you a high-level perspective actually on how, what kind of role Ayurveda and traditional medicine could play in Germany and Europe respectively. The Charité in key numbers, we are Europe's largest hospital. We are Germany's first top 1 hospital and the top 5 hospital worldwide. We have 4 campuses, 17 Charité centers, and altogether more than 300 full professors and 20,000 employees. So it's actually, if it comes to the general importance of the hospital and the university, it's one of the most influential universities in Europe. We recently founded the Charité Competence Center for Traditional and Integrative Medicine a few months ago, which I'm heading. We do everything. We do treatment, we do research, and we do teaching and training of graduate and postgraduate students. We have different focus areas, prevention in general, stress reduction, exercise, self-efficacy, nutrition. So we basically offer or focus on everything that's associated with traditional methods and complementary therapies. In general, we of course are very much focused on the topic sustainability and the sustainability goals. And integrative medicine in general, if you look at Germany, we need to shift the focus in our healthcare system more from a repair system to a preventive system. So that's why we need also sustainability in our healthcare system, not only in terms of using resources, but also in using health more in a sustainable way. You see here the landscape of Europe. The darker the colors are, the more people love traditional medicine in general. in the general population, but also in children. So you see that Central Europe is interested in traditional medicine, and here are some numbers from Germany. The use and the acceptance of complementary and integrative medicine, or naturopathy, how we call it in Germany. We can say in general there's a prevalence in general of 70 or more than 70%. So we like traditional medicine. However, it's not well established on a university level. So we at the Charité are one of the first hospitals or university hospitals that focus on that. There was a discussion, just to give you a short example, how the topic Ayurveda is discussed in Germany. This is an article from a German newspaper. So there are some concerns, not specific concerns, but the authorities who are responsible for approval and regulation, they have some concerns, not because they are not interested or they don't like Ayurveda, but it's about the status of regulation. So there are some general concerns, and that just shows that there is an interest, there is a need for complementary medicine and traditional medicine, but there are many questions, and the general question, or my question I would like to raise, is actually what do we need to do to solve these questions and to get Ayurveda into the German and the European healthcare system respectively. So to answer that question briefly, from my perspective, it's important that we have this external validation of Indian traditional medicine in Europe, and it's about safety, about quality, and about integration. So what is the answer to that? We need actually science. We need to have strong partnerships between India and Europe and Germany respectively to follow the guidelines, the standards, and to do research as with the most renowned institutions. It's about safety and protecting patients, quality assurance, standardization. We need to promote scientific evidence. And of course, there's a huge body of evidence inside of India, but there is very few external evidence from other worldwide renowned institutions like the Charité in Europe. We need, of course, to meet the regulatory requirements. I will tell a little bit about that. And we need integration. We need integration of these traditional practices based on scientific data in terms of safety and efficacy. And we have to follow the European path of the recognition of herbal and medicinal traditional products inside of the EU. And I don't want to dive into these details, but these are the 7 most important guidelines and standards to assure quality, safety, and efficacy. So out of these 7, let's say, guidelines, the European Pharmacopoeia Commission and the European Medical Agency has a distinct, a very differentiated path to approve herbal medicine. But so far in Germany, there's no regulation of Ayurveda and the respective products. So we need actually science to align with the requirements if we have want to have Ayurveda as a available source inside of the German healthcare system. So to think a little bit more ahead regarding that aim, there is an option and a wish and a plan to establish 2 guest professorships at the most influential university of Europe and Germany on Ayurveda and yoga. And these guest professorships, these long-term guest professorships, will be hosted by the Charité Competence Center for Traditional and Integrative Medicine. And the objectives are actually enhancing the expertise powered by specialists and experienced doctors and professors from India in cooperation to build expertise in traditional, integrative or Indian medicine, especially Ayurveda and yoga. It's about cultural recognition of these healing practices and exchange between Germany, Europe and India. And of course, the most important pillar is research, innovation and integration based on strong research, assessing efficacy, assessing safety, and integrating or trying to figure out how to integrate these traditional practices into the German health landscape. And of course, we are a university. We want to train multipliers. It's about developing curricula and training of graduate and postgraduate students. Clinical engagement is something very important, to have something like a prototype of the best experts at the Charité. And of course it would be very interesting to have exchange by organizing international conferences with both sides. So we are open at the Charité. We have the Charité Strategy 2030, where we're trying to describe where we want to be in 10 years or in 6 years from now. So we are open to frontier areas, and we like to explore the boundaries. So combining science to combine conventional medicine and traditional medicine is actually something what we need. And from my perspective, this combination is actually not traditional. Sounds so like it's something from the past. Of course, it's something from the past. But from my perspective, traditional medicine and this combination is the future medicine. Thank you from my side.
Thank you very much, Dr. Schiffer, for your lucid presentation. Rightly you have said, exploring the boundaries. That is the aim of this conference too, exploring the boundaries. Thank you very much. Now I request our moderator, Professor Acharya sir, please felicitate him with the memento and shawl. Charity University is one of the universities which has got MOU with CCRAS and have conducted the clinical study on osteoarthritis. Thank you very much, sir. Our next speaker is Dr. George Luis Berra. Dr. George Luis Berra is again a pediatrician by training and into Ayurveda since last 3 decades. He is the director of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine, Foundation de Ayurveda Premna, Argentina, and having MOUs with the CCRAS and ITRA Jamnagar, Gujarat Ayurveda University. He is very familiar to all of us. He is going to speak on the perspective of Ayurveda in Latin American countries. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Rajagopala. Hello to everyone. Namaste. Buen día. Bienvenidos. Very happy to be here in my second home, India. We are 16,000 kilometers outside far away from India, 26 hours in a plane, but it's a real pleasure to be here. And I will speak about how Ayurveda has come from margins to mainstream, not only in Argentina, but also in Latin America. What's the official presence of Ayurveda in Latin American countries? Ayurveda has academic recognition in Argentina, Brazil, and Colombia. Is within the national health system of Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Cuba, and Nicaragua. And in Argentina is within the state health system in 2 states, Entre Rios and Misiones. And we have also, for example, in Argentina, we have medical insurance covers for Ayurvedic professionals, and also there is MOUs for establishment of Ayurveda chair, not only in Argentina, but also in Mexico. That's related with Latin America, and I want to share with you something about Argentina specifically. Tomorrow we will be celebrating 25th anniversary of the beginning of university courses of Ayurveda in Argentina. Right now we are conducting university courses with the recognition of 2 universities, one the PG School of Argentinian Medical Association, and there are also modules of Ayurveda in 2 universities for UG and PG students. And we have conducted a 20 years research investigation about what's the opinion of the medical doctors about the effectiveness of Ayurveda, and also what's the opinion about the inclusion of Ayurveda in the medical curricula. And this was carried out by more than 800 students of our university courses on Ayurveda. And this study has approval of the ethical committee in Argentina. We requested our students to contact medical doctors of their local residents and to check what are their opinions about different TCM, including Ayurveda. And the one condition is that these medical doctors will not be have any kind of training on Ayurveda. And the results we have during this 20 years period, we have interviewed 2758 medical doctors. It represents 1.5% of the medical numbers of medical doctors of Argentina. Of course, this is not one randomized project, but in any case, it's a very good number. And for example, we have checked every state of Argentina. There are more frequency of medical doctors or female medical doctors from urban area and trained in public universities. This is what the medical doctors in Argentina think about the effectiveness of Ayurveda. More than 60% of the medical doctors, 64% of the medical doctors, they don't have proper information about if Ayurveda is effectiveness or not, and 31.8% they think that Ayurveda is effective. But if we are looking at these numbers, 60% of these medical doctors who consider that Ayurveda is effective, they think that Ayurveda is effective, and they have also medical evidence. You know that at least in the Western countries, it's very common to say there is no information, no scientific articles that prove what are you saying. 60% of medical doctors consider that there is evidence. 40% of these 31% consider that Ayurveda is effective, but without proper evidence. But I say to you that we have shared this 20 years period of the project, and at the very beginning, more than 70% of the medical doctors, they don't know what's the effectiveness of Ayurveda. But at the end, from 2020 to 2023, you could see that more than 42% of the medical doctors in Argentina who have been interviewed, they consider that Ayurveda is useful for their patients. And also we have checked which is the opinion about the inclusion of Ayurveda within the medical curricula. You could see that more than almost 50% of the medical doctors consider that Ayurveda should be taught at the undergraduate curricula, and more than 60% consider that Ayurveda should be included also as PG courses. But also it's very important, at the very beginning of the period, you could see that there were 35% of the 39% consider that Ayurveda should be included at the UG curricula, but at the end, you could see that 58% consider that Ayurveda should be included in the medical curricula. And the same is for the PG courses. At the very beginning, you could see 48% consider that Ayurveda should be included, but at the end, almost 7 into every 10 medical doctors consider that Ayurveda should be included within the PG courses. Regarding to respecting the time, going at the conclusions, as I said, from margins to mainstream, you know that this is not in the slide. You in India knows Argentina for Messi and tango. In Argentina, we know India for yoga and Ayurveda, and that's very important. And okay, then I want to share with you, there is a very big field for increase the knowledge of Ayurveda within our country. It requires, there is a openness from the university for the production of Ayurveda, or the inclusion of Ayurveda, but also it will require more scientific studies and also awareness campaign in order that the doctors will know that Ayurveda could be useful to solve the problems of this 21st century. Thank you for all. Congratulations for the 8th anniversary of All India Institute. I'm very happy to see all friends for 2 or 3 decades here in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Berra. You have presented very beautifully about the demand of Ayurveda in Western countries. I request Professor Acharya sir, please felicitate him with the shawl and mementos. Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite
I had the pleasure to have Dr. Acharya in Argentina with us.
Thank you. I invite Dr. Natalia Sofia Aldana from Colombia. Dr. Natalia is a physician from University Industria Santander with specialization of alternative therapies and public health administration. She integrates traditional and complementary medicines into health services, and she also supports the integration of these traditional and complementary medicines in health systems, that is universal health coverage. Madam, please.
Hello, thank you to all the All Ayurveda Institute and the Ayush Ministry for the invitation. This is a really honor to be here with you and be able to share some information about how is the landscape of traditional, complementary and integrative medicine in the Americas region in order to talk about the challenges of integrate Ayurveda. So, just let me see. Yes. So, for us in the all the Americas region, we understand that we have a huge umbrella where all the traditional medicines and all the complementary and integrative medicines and practice are. So if we want to talk about how we articulate in healthcare and health system some of the TCIM, we need to understand the full umbrella. And for that, we also need to understand that the Americas region has 35 countries, and we have a multi-ethnic and pluricultural aspects there because we are a nation, a territory with a huge biodiversity. We have deserts, snow mountains, river, we have the Amazonian jungles, and we have a large list of different medical practice and also medicinal plants. So what we have in the Americas region is a medical pluralism because we are we have this encounter between the indigenous towns, the First Nation that we have, and are more than 600 different indigenous groups there. And then we have also all the heritage of the African slaves with all the traditional knowledge of Africa and the meeting with the biomedical system. And with the time, over the time, we also have the knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine and also the Ayurvedic medicine in the region. So that's why when we talk about healthcare and how integrate Ayurveda, we have to understand that landscape at the full integration there. So today, most countries in the Americas region have made some kind of progress. We have many countries that have at least some kind of regulation of practitioner practice and products, but we are facing a lot of challenges, mainly because we don't have we don't have standards with the education and training of health professionals, and we don't have enough research funding and no enough governmental financial support. So even in the region, we have their own traditional medicines practice, but also we have acupuncture, we have Ayurveda, and we have been developed new complementary and integrative medicines. And we have, these are some of the pictures of the traditional healers there. I will talk about that in the intercultural plenary session. And we have been developed this kind of integration in some countries. For example, this is a picture of Cuba, because Cuba have one of the best examples of integration in healthcare. They have the integration of TCIM in the different levels, service and levels, and this is a picture of the COVID pandemic, COVID outbreak moment, when they use a lot of medicinal plants and homeopathic medicines to treat and to prevent COVID. And I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but just to know that, for example, we have this global report of WHO, and we have a branch of the different kind of education and types of training. But in the Americas region, we mainly have masters. We have a clinical doctorate. We don't have a lot of training programs for technicians, and we don't have bachelors. That is a huge difference that you have here, because in India you have bachelor in medicine for Ayurvedic, for homeopathy. We don't have that. And that is a first challenge, because we don't have, in the list of health professions that are recognized by the governments, we don't have these bachelors. So if someone from India that studied the bachelor medicine and then the master came to Colombia or came to Chile to practice, they don't have the recognition. So that is something that I want to highlight, because it's something that we have to work in the near future for that. We have legislation in most of the countries of the Americas, and we have also in most of the countries some national office. And unfortunately, we just have 9 countries that have national research institutes and TCIM. So most of the research that is done in the region is some papers and articles that is just the 50%, and the 85% of the research results and account be just in libraries, in the universities' libraries, and is not open to the world. And we have also in the region the amazing work of the Pan American Health Organization. They have built different lines of action and plans and roadmaps. And there is, for example, the strategy for ethnicity and health. And there have different lines, but I want just point that in the 4th line of action, they have the recognition of ancestral knowledge and also the traditional and complementary medicine. And there is something that I want to highlight, because we have the own traditional medicines, the traditional medicines of our ethnic groups and indigenous population, but we also have the traditional medicines from other countries and from other regions. And that is something amazing, because it's the mix between that knowledge and how we can do a knowledge dialogue between that different traditional medicines and the complementary as well. So also there is something here important is that when you talk here in India about traditional medicine, you are thinking you have a concept. But when we talk of traditional medicine in Latin America, we think about in the indigenous medicine, not always in the other traditions of other parts of the world. So that is also important because when you are trying to include in the health system, you have to know that each country has also different concepts of the TCIM umbrella. And we have some countries like Bolivia, Ecuador, Mexico, Venezuela, that the TCIM is a constitutional right, and other countries like Nicaragua and Panama has some kind of laws. But for example, Brazil and Cuba has national policies, national public policies that include and recognize TCIM. Chile, Cuba, Mexico, and United States have regulation for the practice. But for example, Colombia and Argentina have regulation for practitioners, but they don't have enough laws to the recognition of practice. And other countries have a really good advance in the regulation of products, natural products, phytomedicines, homeopathic, but they are just facing some challenges with the regulation of practice practitioners. So we have an heterogeneous situation in the Americas region, and also an issue is the education and training. Because many of the countries in the Latin American region, they recognize a list of 14 or 15 health professions, but they don't include the bachelor because they don't have. That is a little different with Canada and United States, that they have training in the in college and in university in an undergraduate level, and we have also some experience in Brazil, Nicaragua, and Chile. But most of the countries just have post-graduation program. That means that in Colombia, in Chile, in Peru, in Ecuador, in Mexico, and Cuba, if you want to practice Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine or homeopathy, you have to study first to be a medical doctor. And then after that, train that education, you'll be able to do a postgraduate program and learn Ayurvedic or homeopathy. So that is an issue that I think that we have to face in order to be able to do some exchange with different countries. So we need some kind of standardization of that training. So I am not able to explain each one of the regulation of each country because are 35, but I can let you know is that we have this beautiful project that is the Virtual Health Library in Traditional Complementary Integrative Medicine in the Americas. That is a project developed by the Pan American Health Organization with the Health Science Information Center, but with the support of 17 countries of the Americas region and the TCIM. Okay, so if you want to know more about the regulation of each one of the countries, you can just look for the website of the Virtual Health Library. There is information also of the traditional medicines of the indigenous people, but also information about the regulation of other traditional complementary medicines. There are books, there are webinars, and in this website that we developed last year with the support of the Pan American Health Organization, you will find country profiles. Sorry, yes, you're right. You have to scan this to be able to go there. So there is a country profiles part where you can find information of each one of the countries, and also you will find a poster with the summary of each one of the countries. Just let me pass this quickly to close, because I just wanna that you know that we have a huge history and a lot of advance in each one of the countries. And all that the information is available in the website. And in the next future, the short future, we will find all that information in the project that the WHO is developing right now, that is the the global library in traditional medicine that will be released next November, the first version, but the complete version will be launched next November, and all the information of regulation, policies, articulation, education of TCIM will be there. So just to highlight, if we want to advance in the integration of Ayurveda as all the other TCIM in Americas region, we first need to know how works the different countries, the health systems, and the education system, and try to build a knowledge dialogue between that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Natalia, for a beautiful presentation. We are sorry to say that the time limitation, we could not hear you fully. The whole picture of Latin American countries you have presented before us. Thank you very much. I request our director, Professor Tanuja Nesri Madam, please come on to the dais. And I request Tanuja Madam to felicitate our speaker, Dr. Natalia. I request Acharya sir, please join. Madam, please be on the dais. Please be on the dais. Our next speaker is Professor Sanjay Kindra from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. He will be joining online. We have two speakers online. One is Dr. Sanjay Kindra, and second one is Mr. Mark Rosenberg from Germany. To say a few words about Dr. Sanjay Kindra, he is our collaborator with the India Institute of Ayurveda. We have a clinical research project on ashwagandha on long COVID with the London School of Hygiene, and he is the principal investigator from that side. He is a clinical epidemiologist with the research interest in artificial intelligence and global health. He is passionate about developing low-cost solutions to improve healthcare in low-resource settings. He is also interested in behavioral sciences and traditional therapies. I invite Professor Kindra. He is online already. Sir, a warm welcome to you, and the stage is on you, sir. Please.
Thank you for inviting me. I hope you can hear me. And I thank you for everything.
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you.
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So thank you so much for inviting me to this important meeting. I have to say my experience in this field is largely driven by my collaboration with the AROHA in terms of the large trial that we are in the UK on ashwagandha. So I think as we try to conduct this clinical trial in the UK, which is around trying to look at whether ashwagandha is safe and effective in long COVID. We had quite an interesting journey and experience in trying to start the trial in the UK. What we discovered was that there is a huge amount of interest among the general population in the UK. When we did initial consultation, we discovered that about 70-80% of people with long COVID in the UK had already consumed some kind of Indian Ayurvedic herb or some other kind of Ayurvedic herb for treatment of the condition. But then on the other hand, when we tried to launch the study, we found a huge amount of resistance from the people. So one of the challenges that we found there was because the UK regulators are experienced in dealing with these kind of therapies, they didn't have any mechanism to approve the medicine immediately. So the traditional method for approving these medicines is through the nutritional bodies rather than through the medicine bodies, which meant that the approval cannot be applied within the health system and only as a nutritional body. So we went through a very long and So we have to really put our emphasis on the safety data. What these kind of trials that we are conducting together with the ARA, but also trying to conduct clinical registries. So I think with the huge amount of centers in India and other places that are currently offering Ayurvedic therapy, but the data collection tends to be very limited. So we need to set up in-depth electronic health records and find a mechanism where we can generate this data that we can present very quickly when they are required for the user. Second, we need to address the existing problems of the Western style therapy. We need to introduce the model of integrated medicine. Pure traditional medicine type of elements slightly harder to push to these in a Western context. But having systems where we can just approach traditional conventional medicine, they don't have to be used simultaneously, but within parallel system where a style of one approach can be tried over another to also way forward definitely. And the third insight that I have is that with the new advent of big data, medicine, and AI method, there is an opportunity to use these modern data approaches to generate information. So, for example, AI can be used to either run studies at scale within traditional systems of offering healthcare, or use these approaches to identify good targets for drug discovery and drug development. So one of the currently we have a lot of medicine that would be hard to conduct trials immediately on all the medicines. So we are also looking at those ways to examine the existing therapy, Ayurvedic therapy, identify which targets might be most beneficial, and then try to conduct a high impact trials for those diagnostics. So I think those are my key suggestions and advice when we end up going forward, especially from the context of these European users like the context where currently the dominant model is the Western medicine model, and we have to find
Thank you very much, Professor Kindra. You highlighted your experience with the traditional medicines and big data, one health, one world, one medicine, these concepts. Yes, integration is the day for tomorrow. And on behalf of All India Institute of Ayurveda, virtually we felicitate you here.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Our director would like to
Yes,
speak.
and Dr. Kindra, I just want to say to entire audience and all the esteemed panelists and the speakers on the dais that we are honored to have our first international clinical study with London School of Hygiene, and Dr. Kindra is a principal investigator, and thank you very much for being with us and for all those hurdles. You are always with us at All India Institute under Ministry of Ayush, and we are proud to have clinical trial, double-blind, randomized, controlled clinical trial with London School of Hygiene, where Dr. Kindra and his entire team, including Poppy Mellingson and others, are with us. So thank you very much. That is MHRA approved through NHS. You are helping us. So we thank you, and with all the challenges you have joined today online, and I'm sure it is very early morning at your place. So welcome you, and we welcome you next time. Hope to have you physically here. So thank you very much. And I request all the backbenchers to please minimize the movement, because very, very important sessions are happening. First time we are blessed to have the best of the best experts across the country, including George Ruge, Dr. Gaur, and Natalia. So, and all the esteemed dignitaries of the dais, we welcome. But please minimize the movement. Backbenchers, no movement, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. We had one more speaker, Mr. Mark Rosenberg. Because of the technical glitch, he is not able to join us. He will be joining us later in the later sessions. Now I request moderator, sir, can please conclude this?
So, in the outset, we are reaching the end of this session. I consider that it's really very vibrant session that we had. We had in such a short spell of time, we had a worldwide input. What is needed, we already have some guidelines we are going to have in the discussion on the round table in the coming sessions. And very wonderful enough, I know some of them have really a lot of measures, like Dr. Natalia. I know she has been working for POHA, WHO, and also the Colombian government also. And she is presently in the working for the Global Library of Traditional Medicine. So I knew that you had a very large data to speak also. I'm very sorry that we had the smaller time. And our expert also from Germany, he has pinpointed what is the need of the time. I'm really happy. And particularly the point you told, the interpretation to the local practices. That's a very, very important one, that unless until we make that into a local language, its implementation is not complete. Scientific safety talking, it should be there, moderation should be there, but when it is converted into local practice, it's very much important. And I was traveling in France, in one of the beaches, there is still a practice there. Somebody told me that people use oil with salt, have massage on the body, and then go to the sea. I was stuck. This is called Akta Taila in Charak Samhita in certain conditions. I see the practice is here. Charaka is here also. Even in Latin America also, there are so many incidents. In Cuba when I saw, or in Colombia, for example, shaman practices in Colombia, and there are so many practices, including Kuti Praveshika, I have seen that they have got similar things. So that's interpretation into the local traditional is also very much important. That work also should be done. I'm so thankful for putting all these things. I'm also thankful for the director madam, in the end she could make some time. So the discussion will go on further also. There are so many dignitaries and experts also down there. Thank you very much. Please come. Okay, please. There is one more speaker who has just joined online.
Sorry, thank you, sir. Sorry, Mr. Rosenberg has joined now and he is online. I'm taking this opportunity to introduce Rosenberg. Of course, he is having more than 3 decades of experience in traditional medicines, particularly Ayurveda, and he is running an institute in Germany, Rosenberg Academy, European Academy of Ayurveda, and just recently he has concluded the 26th symposia on Ayurveda successfully, and they are running programs like MSc Ayurveda and other things, and they have a wellness center also there. Yoga and Ayurveda is very much practiced in his establishment. Mr. Rosenberg, you are online and it's for you now. Please. Thank you very much, Mark, for your present. Uh, before concluding the session, I would like to request our Director Madam to facilitate our moderator, Professor S.S. Acharya sir, on the dais. Please, sir.
Yes, and thank you, Dr. Mark Rosenberg. We really wanted to have you, but due to some unavoidable circumstances, you are not with you. Thank you for joining and sharing, because you are also very important collaborator with AIIA. And we welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam Madhuri Kanetkar, in this August gathering, and we look forward to listen to yourself. So thank you very much for gracing this occasion. Thank you.
Acharya sir, please proceed. Professor Acharya is instrumental in making or entering Ayurveda into Latin American countries, and particularly Cuba and Colombia. He is an adjunct faculty of All India Institute of Ayurveda here. Thank you very much, sir. With the permission of the dais, we will conclude the first plenary session here. We had 5 presentations in this. Adding to this, of course, it's a global scenario. I would like to inform the House that Australasian countries and Australia, Ayurveda is a recognized complementary medicine, and there is a system established for the practice of Ayurveda. Graduates and postgraduates can go there, practice freely within the legal limits, Ayurveda there. And there are some production units, there are Ayurveda, Australia-made Ayurveda drugs available, as well as there are 2 programs, diploma and advanced diploma programs in Ayurveda also. The hindrance is only about the practice of surgical aspects of Ayurveda. Of course, it is not there. Other than that, it is a self-regulated practice in almost all the countries in and around Australia. With these words, with the permission of Chair, I declare the session is over, and we'll have a group photo in the front first. Dr. Huddar and Dr. Dagre, please come on. Sir, please. Thank you. With this, I declare the session is over, and we have a short tea break followed by the next session. Thank you all.
Namaste all our esteemed dignitaries, guests and the speakers from all across world and India. And thank you very much all the esteemed speakers on this panel. And we welcome for the esteemed speakers for the next panel. And I just want to say everyone, all these scholars, practitioners, delegates and the speakers, we have a very, very important sessions to come. The next session is very important, and I am sure Secretary and the other dignitaries from the ministry also will join. All the sessions are live on YouTube. So those, I just urge everyone, because since all the speakers and the dignitaries, they have come across the globe, and everyone has spared their valuable time to grace this August gathering. So I request all the scholars who are the backbenchers to minimize the movement. In the next session, those who really want to sit here only will be in this auditorium. Those who really want to have chit-chat or any other discussion, you may go outside and you can watch on the YouTube, because we need the silence and we really need to maintain the decorum of this August auditorium. So I urge all the dignitaries, all the scholars and all the delegates to maintain and help us in maintaining the decorum. We want to listen to all the important valuable inputs from the dignitaries who will be, and we will all enjoy this knowledge feast. So please enjoy the high tea. We'll assemble here, but those really who really wish to be here, there should not be any movement in between once the session is started. And these sessions all are live online, all social platforms. So those who really want, they can have again and again, I'm telling, they can really have their sessions look into outside this sudden. But we wish that everyone should be in this auditorium to enjoy the knowledge feast. Thank you very much for your support.